Hi, I'm Valerie from Philadelphia. Please like and subscribe. Growing up, I thought I had the coolest mom. She was a professional gymnast who'd won tons of competitions, and I wanted to be just like her, the best at something. But no matter how hard I tried, Mom always said I could do better, and she kept comparing me to others. Mommy, I won second in the art contest.
What is this? The neighbor's daughter draws like Picasso, and her art was published in a magazine.
Mom, I came in third in the math quiz.
Well, that's disappointing. Your cousin just skipped 2 grades because she's a genius.
Mom always had something to say. Your cousin's a genius, and she's so perfect, and her farts smell like flowers. In 6th grade, I really started enjoying soccer and joined the team, but I hated it when Mom came to the games. She would shout instructions at me nonstop, and once at a match, she pulled me aside during halftime.
What are you doing? You haven't scored a goal once.
But I helped others score goals, and we're winning.
But no one's noticing you. You want to be a star or someone's sidekick.
I could feel Mom's eyes on me in the second half, and I didn't want to disappoint her again. My teammate was kicking the ball down to the goalpost, and suddenly I ran after her. I tackled the ball away and scored the winning goal myself. Our team won, but everyone was angry at me for stealing the ball from my teammate. I felt terrible, but Mom was ecstatic.
Did you see that my daughter scored the winning goal? Take that, losers!
I left the soccer team, but soon after, Mom took me to my first ballet, and I just knew what I wanted to do with my life. I'm going to be a ballerina, Mom. Mom encouraged me and hired a private instructor who trained me hard for the next few years. And in 9th grade, Mom enrolled me in a fancy private school which had its own ballet team. On my first day, I was just signing up for the ballet club when I heard loud voices behind me. I turned around to see a gorgeous girl walk in, and for some reason, everyone seemed excited to see her. I thought I'd find out who she was, so I walked over with a form. Hi, are you signing up too? You can take this.
These forms are for nobodies like you. I'm already in.
Wow, what's with the attitude? And who are you?
I'm Tatiana's daughter, you fool.
What? Tatiana was a ballet superstar and my idol. I'd have to compete with her daughter. Okay, so having a famous mom doesn't mean you're any good because I've never even heard of you. I walked off before she could reply. Her name was Anastasia, and even though I'd played it cool, I was definitely intimidated. On the day of the auditions, I realized that my ballet shoes were missing. I had no choice but to borrow some spare ones for my performance. I calmed myself down as I stepped onto the stage, but just then I spotted Anastasia grinning at me from a corner, and I knew she had something to do with my shoes. I felt so bothered that I just couldn't focus. As I did a jump, I suddenly lost my balance and stumbled to the ground. I ran off the stage, my face blazing, and Mom was even angrier.
Tatiana's daughter did this. I went with that witch to school, and she was so aggressive and competitive. Of course, her daughter's just like her.
I was shocked the next day when the ballet teacher called me and said I'd been selected. I had no idea what changed her mind. Later, as I was putting stuff in my locker, Anastasia came and slammed it shut in my face.
Wow, you're such a cheater. You're only on the team because you're rich. Mommy bribed the principal. Yeah, I saw her here today. What was she talking about?
You're one to talk. I know you hid my shoes, and you keep using your famous mommy's name any chance you get. Well, now we're both here. May the best ballerina win. But I couldn't help wondering if Mom really had done something to get me on the team, so I asked her.
The principal and I are old friends. She owed me a favor.
Mom, that's cheating. I messed up.
You listen to me, Valerie. I will not have your chances ruined because of one mistake. Sometimes, to get ahead, you have to play a little dirty. Do you want to be on the team or not?
The truth was, I wanted it more than anything. It felt wrong, but I couldn't miss this chance. And by 11th grade, I'd worked so hard that I was the best in my class. Anastasia was really good, but I was better. We were soon performing in the year-end musical, and the teacher told us that professional ballet dancers would be attending. I knew Anastasia was burning because I had the lead role. Well, I'd earned my place. One rainy afternoon, I just picked up my new ballet dress from a shop, when suddenly a cyclist came charging down the pavement at full speed. I managed to jump out of the way but slipped on a puddle. I was about to land hard when someone caught me.
Whoa, gotcha!
I saw a boy with messy hair smiling down at me. Oh my God, you saved my life!
You're welcome, but you wouldn't have actually died.
Oh, I'm a ballerina. I can't afford to get injured, especially right now, so thank you.
Thank me by having lunch with me?
I can't. I don't have time to spare. And suddenly my stomach growled loudly.
Looks like you don't have time to eat either. Come on, I just saved your life.
And I gave in. His name was Seth, and he was in college. I was having such a good time that I hadn't even realized 2 hours had gone by. As he was leaving, he asked for my number. I didn't have much time to date, but he was cute and it was hard to say no. We began texting each other, and soon his messages became the highlight of my day.
Why are you always grinning like a moron these days? Is it a boy?
It's called None of Your Business.
So it is a boy. Well, if you have time to date, you're clearly not working hard enough.
Maybe some of us can do it all and still be the best. Seth and I went on our first official date soon, and being with him made me happy, so I made space for him in my crazy busy life. A few days later, I walked into school to find the halls buzzing with excitement, and I discovered it was because Tatiana was visiting. Sometime later, I went into the changing room, and I stopped short when I saw her there, my idol in the flesh. But just then, I noticed Anastasia and Tatiana started screaming at her.
You're telling me someone else got the lead in the school play? That's because your technique still isn't perfect. Why aren't you pushing yourself harder?
I work as hard as I can. Mom, I'm still one of the best.
There's no such thing. You're either the best or you're nothing. Oh, for God's sake, don't start crying. You know I can't stand it.
Saying that Tatiana left, my idol was a witch. And for once, I felt sorry for Anastasia. Hey, are you okay?
Valerie, were you spying on me? Did you hear everything?
I won't tell anyone. And your mom's wrong. Anastasia, I've seen how committed and talented you are. She's being unfair.
Who do you think you are, Mother Teresa? Did I ask for your pity? My mom's the best, and I will be too. I'm not gonna be nothing. You'll see.
Wow, these two were crazier than my mom. That afternoon, as I was leaving school, I was surprised to see Seth outside, leaning against a fancy car. Seth, what are you doing here?
Hi, I'm here for Miss Tatiana. I'm her driver.
OMG, your boyfriend is our poor driver. I thought you would have aimed a little higher, Val. Oh, maybe you can come work for us as the maid. The driver and the maid. So cute.
Seth's face turned red, and he got into the car silently. Tatiana soon joined them, and he drove off and he asked me to meet him the next day.
I'm not poor. I make good money, but I did lie that I'm in college because I wasn't sure what you'd think of me.
Why aren't you in college, Seth?
I'm taking a break. I haven't figured out what I want to do yet.
How can you live like that with no goals? You can't just be a driver. I regretted my words as I saw his hurt face.
I really admire you, Val. But there is more than one way to live. Your way doesn't have to be right for everybody.
I'm sorry, I didn't mean that.
Look, I want to take my time to find my passion and enjoy every moment like this one.
Suddenly, he leaned in and kissed me, and my heart soared. One night, as I got home from a date, I found Mom in panic.
Valerie, where were you? Why weren't you answering your phone?
Oh, I guess the battery died.
Do you know how worried I was when your instructor called and said you never turned up for rehearsal?
I stared at her in shock. How had I forgotten about my rehearsal completely?
You were with Seth, weren't you? Valerie, you have to break up with that boy.
But why?
Because he's a distraction and he's making you lose your focus. He has no goals or ambition.
You hardly know him. Mom, he's amazing and he cares about me.
But he doesn't get you. He's not right for you. You can be a superstar. Why are you letting him bring you down?
I missed one rehearsal. Big deal.
You would have never said that before you met him.
I felt so angry at Mom. Seth wasn't like me, but he made me happy. The school musical was the same day as my birthday, and Seth took me for a little picnic by the beach before dropping me at school. But suddenly, the car came to a stop in the middle of nowhere.
Don't worry, I'm sure it's nothing.
But the car just wouldn't start. This can't be happening. Why did I ever agree to go out with you today? It took a while for a cab to reach us, and I left without even looking back at Seth. But I still arrived 20 minutes after showtime, and I cried as I watched Anastasia out on the stage as the lead. Mom drove me home in complete silence, but I could feel her disappointment, and mine was even greater. So later that night, I decided to end things with Seth.
I'm really sorry, Val, but that could have happened to anyone.
No, Seth, it wouldn't have happened to me before. I would have been focused on only the show. Look, my career will always come first, and you'd understand that if you had some real goals in your life too. There was silence, and suddenly he hung up. I knew I'd hurt his feelings, and I felt devastated too, but it was the right thing to do. The next day, I was dreading seeing my team or Anastasia at school, but mostly I was feeling heartbroken over Seth. I went into the empty locker room and broke down into tears. Moments later, Anastasia came in. "You're here to rub last night in my face? Go ahead, get it over with. You won. You're the best. Your mom must be so proud of you now."
Actually, she isn't. She made sure to remind me that I only got the lead because you didn't show up.
For a moment, we just sat there quietly. I saw you on stage last night and you were amazing. Congratulations.
Thank you.
Anastasia got selected by a famous dancer right after the musical. After high school, I got into a great dance academy in New York and soon joined the ballet company. I reached fame and success quickly, and I was living my dream life, and Mom was finally proud. A year later, I went back home for some shows, and to my surprise, I bumped into Anastasia one day. She looked different, and I was shocked to learn that she'd given up on professional ballet.
I'll always love ballet, but I just couldn't take all that pressure. I'm not like Mom or you, so I left it and I started a dance studio for young kids.
She looked so much happier now, and I was happy for her. One night, as I was performing, I suddenly spotted a face in the front row that made my heart skip a beat. Seth! After the show, he was waiting outside my dressing room.
I'm a journalist now, and I was in town to cover a story. I had to come see your show. You were magical, Val, and I'm so proud of you.
That means a lot. Thanks.
Got time for coffee with an old friend?
I was so happy to see him that I said yes. We kept seeing each other for the next few weeks, and I realized I'd really missed having him in my life. But a few days later, I found out I was being sponsored to go on a world tour by my company. I would be an international star. I met Anastasia and told her the amazing news, but she sensed something was bothering me, and I told her everything about Seth.
You should totally date him.
But I'm about to leave for a world tour. I won't have time for him, and I can't have any distractions.
That's your mom talking, Val. Listen, you can have all the fame and money in the world, but what's the point if you have no one to share it with? Being successful doesn't mean you have to be alone.
Anastasia was right, and the next day I met Seth and told him everything. This time, I don't want to choose. I don't want to give up one dream for another, but I'm moving soon for my world tour. And
Val, I wouldn't dream of holding you back. I travel for work all the time, and I can move to Europe while you're there. We can make this work. I let you walk away from me before, and I don't want to do that again. I love you, Valerie.
I love you too, Seth. After 10 years of trying to get pregnant, the woman finally got the great news. But her happiness was short-lived. The doctor looked straight into her eyes and said,
"Ma'am, your baby has Down syndrome."
Months later, she delivered the baby, and it was me, born completely normal and 100% healthy. Everyone said it was a miracle, and that's what my name means. Hi, I'm Nasa from Alabama. But before I continue my amazing story, click like and subscribe. My dad had a mechanics workshop, and I hardly saw him because he worked so much all the time. Even though Mom came from a rich background, she never helped Dad with money.
Isn't that God's will? A man has to sweat and earn his bread and provide for his family. If you want to eat, you better put food on the table.
Once when I was 3, Mom and I visited him at the workshop. He was fixing a car and asking me to hand him the plier. I didn't know what it was, so I just picked up the entire toolbox and put it in front of him. He was shocked.
How did you do that, Nasa?
Just like that, Daddy? It's easy.
Oh my God, you're so strong. Oh, my daughter. No, it's like you're my son.
Why are you looking so happy, idiot? I don't want a manly daughter. Girls aren't supposed to be delicate. This is what I get. After 10 years of waiting, I'm taking her to the doctor.
The doctor said I was exceptionally strong because my muscle strength and testosterone levels were higher than most girls. But Mom just kept calling me a freak. she decided to leave me with Dad every day at work to help him make more money. 2 years later, Mom gave birth to my little sister, Ella. But she was born with the Down syndrome the doctors had predicted for me. The minute we saw Ella, Dad and I were in love with her, and we made sure she didn't feel different growing up. But Mom just couldn't stop complaining about us.
Why is God so mad at me? First, you came out really weird, and now Ella. I must have done something terrible in my life that I'm getting punished for.
She was trying to feed Ella as she whined nonstop. And suddenly, Ella spat out all the food on her face. Gosh, I loved that kid. Mom also didn't allow us to watch YouTube videos because she said it was a sin to do anything fun. She blocked YouTube. But I found an amazing app that can solve it. I took Ella to my room, and we watched videos all night long. One day, when I was at Dad's workshop, a bus suddenly stopped in front of us, and a man jumped off.
Oh my God, girl! Are you for real? You just lifted those big tires all by yourself? I'm already seeing you as an Olympic weightlifting champion.
The man introduced himself as a sports coach and asked me to join his school in California. He also gave Dad his card and said he'd be waiting for us to tell him when we could leave. Dad was so excited for me, and I felt like I'd just won the lottery. But when I told Mom, she flipped out.
Are you crazy? I'm not trusting a stranger and leaving the place and the wealth God's given me here. No one is going anywhere.
I was super bummed at Mom's reaction, but then little Ella came up to me with a solution.
What if Mom has nothing? Let's throw all her money away.
OMG, Ella, you're a genius. Yes, let's donate Mom's money to charity. I found a charity organization and filled out all the forms online. But suddenly, I started to lose my nerve. Maybe this isn't such a good idea, Ella. I don't think we should do this.
Yes, we should.
With that, she clicked on enter, and in a second, Mom lost all her money. Even Dad's workshop was in her name, and it was gone. She threw the biggest tantrum ever and even threatened the organization to return her money. But they refused, and there was nothing she could do about it. Angry and frustrated, she finally agreed to the last option, going to Cali. And she never knew it was us. When we got there, the coach showed us a small house for rent. He also assured us that he'd get special scholarships for Ella and me, and we'd be going to the same school.
How can you be happy about this, Nasa? You know how Ella is. What am I supposed to do? Go to school with her and guard her from the bullies?
You don't need to do that, Mom. I'll handle it. She's mine. On the first day of school, I dropped Ella in her classroom. When I entered mine, I saw no teacher there, but a girl was catwalking in front of everyone. As I tried to slide past her, she stepped on my foot with her pointed heels. I yelped in pain, but she started yelling at me instead of saying, sorry.
You idiot! Why did you bomb my show? I was rehearsing for the beauty pageant contest.
Oh, your show. I thought this was a classroom, not a stage.
Well, you thought wrong. I'm the queen of the school, and I make the rules. And I say the whole world's my stage.
Wow, she seemed crazy and really full of herself. Later that day, Ella and I were eating lunch in the cafeteria when Auntie came over and said we were sitting at her table. Just then, she saw Ella and she started laughing.
Oh, you didn't say you have a sister? Well, I can see why. I mean, you must be so embarrassed by her.
Shut up, Auntie. You're just embarrassing yourself.
You can't talk to me like that. I told you, I'm the queen here, the hottest girl in school.
Why do you have a fever?
I think she does. Ella, let's help her feel better. And with that, I threw a glass of ice-cold water in her face. The whole cafeteria burst into laughter, while Auntie screamed and stormed off. So many people thought Ella was adorable and wanted to be friends with her. Meanwhile, I also started weightlifting practice, and the coach was stunned to see me lifting heavier weights than the boys on the team. One day when I came out of the gym, I saw Ella standing with a sad face outside the dance room. I asked her what had happened, and she cried out,
I don't want to be here. These girls are mean. They don't want me on the team.
I barged into the dance room, and I wasn't surprised to see Auntie there. Hey, why did you tell my sister she can't be on the dance team? What's wrong with her?
What's wrong? Are you blind? It's obvious she can't do fast moves with us, and we don't have forever to teach her. Now be off with your dee-dee dumb sister.
I totally lost it. I walked over to their sound system, pushed over the big speakers, and wrenched out all the wires. As Ella and I walked out, she turned around and locked the door from the outside. That was an awesome moment. But we got caught and ended up in detention. And Mom went nuts when she found out.
God, I knew this would happen. Ella is not like everyone, and she can't be with everyone. You were unkind to that girl, and that makes you two sinners. I'm going to go pray now. I don't want to go to hell with you.
Our daughters are not unkind. I'm sure there was a good reason.
But before he could finish, Mom just pushed him aside and stormed off. Mom is just terrible. The next day at school, I looked for Ella during recess and I couldn't find her anywhere. I was running all over the place, feeling panic rise inside. Where could she be? Just then, I spotted a grand piano in the corridor, blocking the janitor's closet. As I stepped closer, I heard Ella crying out for help. Oh my God! Ella, I'm here! I'll get you out, sweetie! With one big push, I swept the piano out of the way and opened the door. Poor Ella came tumbling out in my arms, crying like crazy.
Auntie told me to go inside.
I was gonna destroy that witch. I stormed off to the dance room with Ella, and before I could get to Auntie, Ella ran straight at her, pushing her aside. They both landed on the floor, and just then, a beam fell off the roof exactly where Auntie was standing seconds ago. Oh my God, Ella had just saved Auntie.
I saw it was falling, so
How dare you touch me, you moron! I don't want your disease rubbing off on me!
That was the last straw. I walked up to Auntie and gave her a hard slap. You're a heartless bully, Auntie. You think she's weaker than you, so you pick on her. But here, she is saving your stupid butt after everything you've done. She's got more heart and strength than you ever will. And you could learn a thing or two from her. We all could. Because Ella is freaking amazing. Just then, I turned to see lots of kids had followed us into the dance room, and they were all clapping and cheering for Ella. Everyone started to boo Auntie, and she ran off crying. When we got home, I couldn't wait to tell our parents what a hero Ella had been. But we found the two fighting loudly.
I'm not putting up with your embarrassing daughters anymore. My church friends say they are weirdos. Do you know how that makes me feel? I'll stay only if we give them up for adoption. Decide.
That is the easiest decision I've ever had to make. You're a selfish, horrible woman, and you don't know how to love anyone. So please, for the love of God, get out.
Wow! Dad finally spoke up. Mom shouted and cried, but Dad just threw her bags out on the street, and our lives at home became so much happier. The next day when we were leaving school, Auntie suddenly leapt out from behind a tree and spat at Ella. I was about to attack her, when suddenly a well-dressed man stepped in and grabbed Auntie's arm.
What did I just see? Auntie, I can't believe it! How could you be so cruel to this child? You're grounded for a very long time, and you're off the dance team.
Dad, you can't do that!
Keep talking, and I'll ask the principal to expel you myself. Apologize now.
Well, the queen bee finally bowed her head. Also, it turned out that Nancy's dad was a big-shot doctor, and he offered to take over all of Ella's medical bills and help out with any therapy she needed. When Mom heard that Ella wouldn't be expensive now, she contacted us by saying that she was sorry, and she always knew we were special. But we told her to leave us alone. After a year of training, the coach said it was my time to shine. He entered me into many weightlifting competitions, and my medal collection has just begun. And I always have my biggest supporter cheering me on.
Hi, my name is Ada, and I'm from New York. Please like and subscribe. Me and my twin sister Gia were born to two very chaotic parents who fought like Tom and Jerry all the time. And on the very day we were born, they picked up a twin each and decided to make us the best version of themselves.
Ada is hungry. She needs milk.
Oh, since you chose her, why don't you feed her from your nipples?
Yep, Dad picked me, and growing up, he taught me the Turkish language because he was from Turkey, and Gia was Mom's favorite, so Mom taught her Italian because she was from Italy. Although we spoke English at home, that whole language thing kinda became the reason for all the chaos and misunderstandings in the family. Because of Mom and Dad's fights, I could never get close to Mom, and I hated that. So once, when I was 8, I decided to make a card for Mom for the new year and asked Gia for help. When Mom saw it, she went ballistic. Sei una mucca grassa.
God, you're so rude, Ada. Just like your jerk dad. I always knew I made the right choice by picking Gia.
I was furious that Witch made me do this. I ran to Gia and pulled her by her hair. Why did you do that to me?
Because Dad loves you more than me, and I hate it.
So what? Mom loves you more than me? Just then, Mom came and separated us and said something to Gia in Italian. What did you say?
Not your freaking business. Go to your daddy and hug him.
But Gia glared at me and spit at my face. And another fight broke out. She beat me to it and I got a black eye. But I was so gonna get back at her. The funny thing was about us. Gia and I were identical twins. We both looked so much alike that even our parents couldn't tell us apart, and I was gonna use that against her. The next day, I went to school and punched a kid straight in the face. I rule the school. No one dares mess with me. Remember my name? It's Gia. That would land Gia in detention for sure. But my plan kind of backfired when both Mom and Dad were called to the principal's office. And when they couldn't figure out who it was between us, they started blaming each other for it in front of the principal.
Sei stupido.
Yeah, whatever. Same to you. Back at you.
Che animale così stupido.
The principal let us off without any punishment because she just wanted to get my parents out of her office. But it's not like they ever stopped. On Thanksgiving dinner, Mom served pizza and Dad went ballistic.
Where's the freaking turkey? Who even makes pizza on Thanksgiving, you stupid woman?
Turkey, turkey. Go ask your mother to make you a turkey.
And saying that, Mom threw a plate at Dad, which he avoided. But then Dad grabbed the ketchup bottle and pointed it at Mom.
Don't you dare. This is a designer top.
Watch me.
And he squeezed out all of the ketchup onto Mom's top. Mom shrieked. And soon our dinner table turned into a war zone. Gia and I felt terrible. Mom and Dad didn't even care about any happy occasion or us anymore. They just fought all the time. Then one day in the 7th grade, when Gia and I got back home after school, Mom and Dad finally dropped the bomb on us.
We are getting a divorce. Ada is going to live with her dad in Turkey, and Gia is going to live with me in Italy.
What? No way. You can't do that.
No, Mom. No, Dad. I can't live without you guys. I want all of us together. Please don't do this.
But they didn't listen to us and said it was final. Later that night, I went to talk to Gia in her room. I thought she might not listen to me, but she hugged me as soon as she saw me.
Oh, Ada, I'm so glad you're here. Even though we fight all the time, I can't live without you and Dad. Sis, we have to do something.
What can we do? Our parents just hate us. They're selfish and only think about themselves.
Then let's just run away. They'll get busy looking for us, and then they'll forget all about this stupid divorce thing. They'll understand how much we need them.
I won't let this happen. I won't let them ruin our lives. We have to stay together no matter what. But Mom and Dad had already filed for the divorce, and within a week, they even signed the final papers. But then I had a brilliant idea. I could switch places with Gia and go with Mom to Italy. We would tell them about the swap after 6 months, and when they'd meet again to exchange us, maybe they'd be less angry and realize that they still loved each other. Yes, this was perfect. I immediately told Gia about it, and she happily agreed. Soon after, Mom and I flew off to Italy, and there, Mom had a huge place of her own. As soon as we got there, a maid came running and grabbed all our luggage.
Benvenuta, signorina.
And that's when it hit me. I could not understand a word of Italian, and this reminded me of Gia. She was also stuck in Turkey and didn't know a word of Turkish. God knows what kind of trouble she was going through.
Mahaba birkaç erkek alabilishmil.
What are you saying, kid? Are you out of your mind?
Soon after, Mom enrolled me in school, and my first day was a complete mess. The teacher asked me to introduce myself, and I said, "Ciao, mi chiamo Gia siete tutti brutti." Everyone gasped and looked at me like I'd cursed them. All I said was they were nice, but for some reason, none of them would talk to me now. The next day, during lunchtime, pizza was being served in the cafeteria. But I noticed there wasn't enough cheese on top. "Can I get more cheese on this?" The server stared at me, like I had asked for her kidney. And dude, this was a clear mistake. Asking for more cheese in Italy is considered super rude, but I didn't know that. "Cheese vacca grassa?" The lady glared at me and jumped over the food counter to attack me. She chased me for a mile around the school until the principal caught us both. She sternly told me off for being rude and said she was gonna call my mom later. And I felt like a terrible kid. Mom was already dealing with the divorce, and now I was adding more to her troubles. I thought I'd apologize to her as soon as I got home. But what I saw next shocked me. Mom was having a pool party with her friends, and they were all having the time of their lives. What the crap? Mom, what's going on here?
Oh, honey, I'm having so much fun. You should join us. If I knew life without your father would be so amazing, I'd have divorced him before the wedding. I feel like I'm 20 again.
What? I thought she'd be missing Dad and me, but she was having a blast. This was so weird and not what I expected. I quickly went to my room and called Gia to tell her how Mom was going completely crazy. But what she told me shocked me even more. Dad was gonna get engaged within a week. This was insane. We had to get Mom and Dad back together soon, by any means possible. The next day, I was all set to break the news to Mom, but what I saw almost gave me a heart attack. She introduced me to a not-so-handsome man as her boyfriend.
Ciao, sono Roberto, signorina.
And before I could even say anything, they put me in a car and took me shopping with them. But I had to do something to get rid of all this Italian pasta. Sauce at all costs. When Mom went inside the changing room, I told him to leave her alone. Voglio che tu ami, mia madre. Suddenly he had tears in his eyes and he hugged me. What was wrong? Then he took a ring from his pocket and proposed to my mom in the most romantic way possible.
Vuoi essere mia?
Mom looked awestruck. And then she said the words that I dreaded the most.
Sì, lo farò.
OMG, what the heck was happening? Our plan was literally falling apart. The next day, I stormed off to school in anger, but in the school corridor, a guy pulled my hand and started flirting with me.
Hi, beautiful. Want to go and get some cheese with me? I'll open factories for you.
Ew, it was so gross. And I was so done with kids making fun of me for not knowing the language. I knew a little Italian by now, so I told him to leave me alone. But he didn't, so I slapped him hard. He left and he went to tell the principal some lies that I forced him to kiss me. An hour later, Mom barged into the principal's office and she looked raging mad.
Your kid has been misbehaving with our staff and been doing inappropriate things to boys.
Mom, I didn't.
Oh, I know my daughter very well. It's the school that's stupid, and I'm putting her into a better one. We are done here.
Oh my God, she was so unpredictable. While driving me back home, I thought Mom would scold me, but instead she said something that completely shocked me.
It's okay, honey. If you're ever in a place where you're unhappy, then you can always move away, just like I did. Ada.
What? Did she just call me by my real name? Mom, you know.
Of course I know. You're my child.
Really?
Well, no. This morning after you left for school, I went to your room, and I saw your pink-colored undies, which Gia hates. But why did you do this, honey? Imagine everything Gia has been going through there. She doesn't even know the language.
We want you guys to get back together. But Mom didn't say a word to that. And as soon as we reached home, she called Dad and told him everything. But Dad, like always, wouldn't believe her.
I'm not going to fall for your pranks, woman. Do you think I'm a fool? Of course I know it's my daughter. It's Ada.
But minutes later, he called her back saying he knew from the beginning it wasn't me. Mom immediately got on a plane with me. When we landed at the airport, I saw Gia and Dad waiting for us outside. I ran towards her, and she hugged me as soon as she saw me. I missed you so much, sister. Minutes later, Mom asked Gia to follow her, and Dad asked me to come with him. But I had to try one last time. Enough, you guys. We are not going anywhere. We want to live together like a family. Please, can't you do this for us?
Yes, I want to live with Ira and Mom, not like this, where I feel so empty and alone and unloved. I want to be happy.
Mom and Dad looked at us in complete surprise.
Oh, honey, why would you ever think you're alone? No matter what happens between me and Mom, nothing could ever change the fact that we're your parents, and we love you so much. You'll always have both of us.
Then why can't we all live together?
Because that won't make any of us happy. We wanted to raise you in a happy home with great memories, but living together, we could never give you any of that. And now look at us. We are happy, and we can give you the best of the world only if you choose to accept it.
Suddenly, I had tears in my eyes. Maybe Mom was right. She looked a lot happier and healthier than she ever used to be with Dad. And Dad, he looked like he was gonna explode with joy. And now, the only people fighting against this happiness was me and Gia. This had to stop. I looked at her, and she looked at me, and we knew what the right thing to do was. We agreed to Mom and Dad's plan, but we decided we weren't going to sacrifice our happiness either. So Gia and I decided to live with Mom, and both of us moved back to Italy with her. But we often visited Dad and his new family, and we were the happiest. Hi, friends! My name is Celine, and my mom is my best friend. She was a small businesswoman, but after she divorced my dad, her luck turned around and she made it big. Mom adored me! By the time I was 7, I was living the life of a Malibu Barbie. She got me everything I wanted. She threw a birthday bash for me that had ponies and hot air balloons in it. My friends were shocked. Once, when I was in 2nd grade, I had a fight with my annoying classmate, and Mom was called to the school to meet the teacher who I hated.
Celine needs some discipline. Just look at what she did to her classmate. Maybe she needs a father to teach her some manners. Get her one.
My mom suddenly went ballistic and pushed the teacher away.
Are you a moron? My daughter doesn't need a father. She has me and I can take care of her. You say nonsense like that again and I'll have you fired.
I was so proud of my mom as she took my hand and stormed off. By the time I was in 4th grade, my mom was my best friend. I used to tell her every single freaking thing that happened to me. But once I made a mistake. I told her how I'd seen my friend Jessica take the teacher's watch and put it in her bag. And a few days later, I invited my friends to my house. When we were all having lunch, I heard a loud scream from my room. We all ran there to find Mom holding Jessica's hand.
You can't fool me, kid. I know you stole your teacher's stuff and now you're snooping in my daughter's room.
Oh my God! Jessica was shaking and in tears. Mom, she had to go to the bathroom. I told her to go to my room. When my friends left, I was so angry at Mom. I told her I won't be telling her anything from now on. Even though she apologized, I ran to my room and slammed the door shut. The next day at school, my friends started avoiding me like I was some weirdo. And this mean Jessica said,
"No, you can't sit with us because you tell all our secrets to your mom. Why are you like that, dumbhead?"
I started eating alone, but one day, something amazing happened. A girl came and sat next to me at lunch. Her name was Ashley, and she was new in the school. Soon we became friends, and it was so good having someone to talk to. A few days later, I saw Jessica wearing my bracelet that Mom had specially gotten made for me. Hey, that's mine! That bracelet has my name on the back. You're such a thief! I grabbed her wrist to take it away, but Jessica pushed me hard and pounced on me. Just then, Ashley came running and snatched the bracelet from her. We reported her to the principal, and she took a look into Jessica's locker. She was stunned to see so many stolen items. Jessica was suspended for 2 weeks, and I felt so foolish. Mom had been right about Jessica all along. When I went home, I apologized to Mom, and she hugged me tight. By the time we were in 10th grade, Ashley and I were best friends. Once, she was at my place, and we were discussing my new crush, Adam. When Mom walked in, I was so excited to tell her too. I showed her all his pictures.
I can't believe you just told your mom about your crush. I would never tell my mom such a thing.
A few days later, Mom came to school, and she spotted Adam with some boys. And then she said the most embarrassing thing ever.
Oh, you're Adam, right? This is Celine, and she's my daughter.
Oh yeah, that weirdo.
What did you just call her?
A weirdo. And I think she's also dumb.
Oh my God, you're such a rude kid. I can't believe she has a crush on you. And she even looks at your pictures all day. For what? You're a jerk. I can tell.
Everybody, including Adam, looked at me like I was some psycho stalker. I grabbed Mom's arm and tried to drag her away.
Oh, so Celine is crazy just like her mom.
Just let me teach this loser a lesson.
Mom tried to attack him, but thankfully, I was able to drag her away. At home, I had a huge fight with Mom about it.
I did the right thing, Celine.
The only thing you did was ruin my life. Mom asked for forgiveness, and I knew Mom meant well. So after a few hours, I forgave her and we hugged. But not for long. A couple of months later, we were having a Mother's Day event at our school. And when it was time for Ashley to give her mom the gift in front of everyone, Mom rushed to Ashley's mom and handed her a bag. She had gotten a matching outfit for her and Ashley.
I was so sorry to hear from Celine about your money problems and the divorce. You must be going through a really hard time right now. That's why I bought the nicest dresses for you and Ashley.
Oh my God! How could she blurt that secret out in front of everybody? Ashley and her mom were stunned. So were all the people in the classroom. Suddenly, Ashley was furious. She attacked me and held my hair tight in her grip.
How could you tell your mom about it? You know she can't keep a secret. Why did I ever trust you?
Even Ashley's mom was furious, and she screamed at Mom, calling her bad names. And that day, I lost my best friend. She just refused to talk to me. And a week later, she and her mom moved away without even saying goodbye. I was heartbroken, and my relationship with my mom was never the same.
Celine, please forgive me. It was an honest mistake.
Mom, enough is enough. You betrayed my trust and hurt other people. You can't just say it's a mistake every time. I can't do this anymore. I moved out of the mansion when I turned 18 and got admission in university. I got busy with studies, and Mom and I spoke less and less frequently. Luckily for me, I found love and got married. After graduating, I was living a happy life with my husband Andrew. I opened up an art gallery with Andrew, and the exhibitions I held were famous all over town. After 2 years, we were blessed with a little baby girl. We named her Crystal. She had a star-shaped birthmark in her hand. She was my world. One day, when I returned from work, I saw Andrew park up his new Porsche. I was stunned. Sure, we both earned well, but not that well. Something was off about Andrew. I walked into his new home office and heard him talk to some girl.
Oh, babe, I love you too. You think I'm in love with her? I am living with her only for the money.
I went berserk on Andrew. I made him tell me the truth the way he did. My mom had been sending him money, and that's why he was with me, while he loved someone else. First, I kicked Andrew out of the house. I was done with him. Then I called up Mom. Why can't you just stop interfering with my life? Why did you give money to Andrew?
But honey, Andrew asked me for money. He said he would leave you if I didn't give him the money.
You knew he didn't love me, and you didn't tell me? Mom, that's awful. You think giving him money was right? I told her never to send money again, and hung up. I just wanted to focus on raising Crystal now that life was set. Crystal and I became best friends. When she was 4, I took her to Disneyland, and we had a blast. I even got a star tattoo on my hand, just like Crystal's birthmark.
Mommy, we have the same mark now. I love you.
After a few days, it was time to go home. When our plane landed, we needed to take the train to get home. As I was buying tickets, I suddenly turned around and saw Crystal wasn't there. I went crazy. I searched for my baby girl all over the station, but I didn't find her. People started to help me look for her, and soon the cops arrived on the scene too. I just sat down on a bench crying with shock. I couldn't believe that my daughter was missing. I took my phone out and called the only person I could think of. I need you to come immediately, Mom. The minute she arrived, I broke down in tears and hugged her tight. I'm so sorry, Mom. Now I realize the pain of being away from your child. I am so sorry.
Hush, Celine. You have nothing to be sorry about. Don't worry, love. We will find my granddaughter.
But days turned into weeks, and my baby girl was nowhere to be found. It had been many months since Crystal was missing, when a familiar-looking woman named visited me at home. And when our eyes met, we were both shocked. Ashley, is that you?
Oh my God. Celine, I'm the detective handling your daughter's case.
We hugged each other tight as we both started to cry.
Don't worry, we will get her back. I promise.
For 5 years, we searched for Crystal day and night. Everywhere I went, I would see my daughter. One day, I was walking towards the police station where Ashley worked when suddenly I heard a voice so sweet that it shook me.
Hey, Mom, wait up. I'm coming.
I turned around and saw a girl who looked so much like Crystal. Oh my God! It was my baby girl all grown up. Without a second thought, I ran to the girl and took her arm. And she started screaming.
Mom, Dad, help!
Sweetie, just let me look at your hand. Turned out it was not Crystal. And her parents furiously took her away, and I was heartbroken all over again. I was almost beginning to lose hope. I met Mom at the park that night and cried on her chest. Mom, it hurts. Mom, it's burning. I miss my baby. I'm so sorry for treating you badly. You were my best friend. I now understand how much I hurt you. Mom, I just want my baby back.
Mom!
I couldn't believe what I just heard. I looked around to see Ashley, and next to her was a 9 or 10-year-old girl looking confused. The moment I saw her, I knew it was my Crystal. I ran to hug her, but the girl took some steps back.
Mom had a tattoo like mine in her hand. Show it to me if you are my mom.
I showed her the star tattoo, and she gave me a huge smile and flung herself in my arms.
Mom, I missed you so much. Why did you leave me? You don't love me?
Oh, baby girl, I love you so much and I look so hard for you. I missed you! I missed you! Ashley told me that my baby had gone on a train to another city where a couple had found her wandering alone and crying, and they'd taken her in. Since then, they had been trying to search for her family. I pulled Mom to join our hug, and also Ashley. I love you guys so much. All my best friends are back now. I love you, Crystal.
I love you too, Mommy.
Hi, I'm Adele. Before you listen to my story, please click like and subscribe. As I lived in an orphanage, my biggest dream was to have a family. But that wasn't easy, especially with me being different. Yup, I looked cute and delicate on the outside, but physically, I was a real strong girl. One day, when I was 3, the warden called me to her room to meet the couple who wanted to adopt me. I was so happy when my potential dad came forward to shake hands. But suddenly, he yelled out that I was crushing his bones. Oh no! What did I do? I dropped his hand instantly and ran off. Needless to say, they didn't adopt me. Another time, it came so close, the couple was about to sign the papers. Just then, a girl threw a ball at me. I caught it and threw it back at her, but it went flying straight into my future mom's face. Ouch! This way, I kept ruining my own adoption chances for years. When I was 10, I sadly watched 2 of my roommates getting adopted, and one of them said to me,
I know you want a family too. There's one thing you can do for it. Try not being yourself when that day comes. You know what I mean?
She was right. If my extreme strength was the only thing stopping me from getting a family, I had to hide it inside. Then one day, another couple arrived, and they seemed just perfect. I crossed my hands behind my back, determined not to mess up this time. To my great surprise, they walked up to me and picked me. Yippee! I'd finally found a family, and surprisingly, they already had a daughter my age. Polly looked delighted to see me and immediately hugged me tight. But the second my parents left, she pushed me away.
Ew! Get off, you orphan! Don't spoil my Gucci dress. Ugh! You probably don't even know what Gucci is! Who knows what kind of slum you were born in?
I stood in shock, but then I saw a bee buzzing near Polly's neck. I pushed her away with force and she just flew. I tried to hold her and stop her, but I accidentally tore her shirt.
Ugh! How dare you, you moron! I'm gonna kick your butt back to your rat hole now!
What? No! I didn't want to go back. I told her about my real strength, apologized, and requested her not to say anything to her parents. And she agreed, but on one condition. I had to do whatever she said. I decided to go by that. Soon, I got enrolled in Polly's school, and when the teacher asked who the new student was, I stood up to introduce myself. Hi, I'm
Polly's maid!
Excuse me? No, I think you're mistaken. I'm no maid. I'm A. Then I saw Polly looking at me with wicked eyes. I pursed my lips and sat down. Later, when I was having lunch in the cafeteria, she came with a bunch of girls and asked me to get up. Why? You want to sit here? I don't mind. You guys can all join me. They all laughed.
Nonsense!
Who'd want to sit with a garbage bag for lunch?
I just came to tell you to clean my lunchbox. Come on, hurry up!
And she threw her lunchbox at me. Ugh! I had to teach this dumbhead a lesson. That night, when she was sleeping, I lifted one side of her bed with my hands and dropped it down so hard she screamed like some kid in a horror movie. It was hilarious, but she just kept torturing me. The only thing she couldn't ruin was my studies. Yeah, I was so good at it. By the time I was in 11th grade, the teacher announced that I was getting an international university scholarship to study in China.
I'm so proud of you, Adele. I really wonder how Polly could be your sister.
The class cracked up, and I knew that made Polly grow even madder. On our graduation day, I was waiting off stage, getting ready to make my speech. Just then, Polly popped up and whispered,
Hey, Adele, my friend said the day is boring, so let's make your speech fun. I'll teach you. Just say, I'm Adele. I'm in love with the basketball captain. Thanks, and get lost. Nothing else. Got it?
What? No way, I can't do that.
Really? Too bad. I thought you wanted a family.
Ugh, fine. And I went up, but I said something that shook her. Hi, I'm Polly's sister, and I'm gonna say something on her behalf now. Polly has a crush on the school head girl, and she said she won't live without her. So guys, let's all join hands in uniting these lovebirds. The whole auditorium echoed with laughter. I was told to immediately leave the stage, but the satisfaction I got out of it was priceless. I went home that evening, expecting her to burst out. But to my shock, she had locked herself up in her room and wouldn't open it. I asked my parents, but they had no idea. The next morning at breakfast, all my parents were talking about was my scholarship and how they were going to miss me.
Oh, honey, I'm just so happy we adopted you. We're so proud.
Oh, really? Now you're proud of her? Then why did you throw her away like garbage when she was born? And why didn't you tell me she was my frickin' twin sister? Anyway, send her back. I don't want her.
Wait, what did she just say? I'm her twin? I couldn't believe it. But then she threw a paper on my face. It was my birth certificate, and my adopted parents' names were there, which meant they're my real family. I flipped the dining table up angrily, and they all looked ghost-struck. Why? Why did you give up on me? Do you know how much I suffered all my life? Everyone called me a dumb orphan when I'm really not one. Now I think I was better as an orphan. God, it sucks to be standing here. I'm not putting up with your devil daughter or your lying faces anymore. I'm out of here forever.
Adele, please, listen. It's true. You are our real daughter, but we just...
Sweetie, we weren't financially stable then to raise twins, so we had to give one up. But now that we are rich enough for the two of you, we took you back. We're sorry.
But I wasn't having it. How could they even do that to me? And Polly. She'd been the worst twin sister anyone could get. Thankfully, I had my scholarship, and I just flew away to China as fast as I could. There, I stayed in the hostel on the college campus. Adapting to a new place was a bit difficult at first. The food, the people, everything was different. But college started off on a good note. All the scholarship students were called onto the stage on the first day and appreciated by everyone. Soon, we had our freshers party, and my roommates took me shopping to get some cool dresses. As I was trying on a dress, a girl with glasses barged in. I immediately covered myself and yelled at her. Geez, are you out of your mind? Where are your manners? You should—
Shush, please, I'm sorry. I'm just hiding from someone. Ugh, my mom. She wants me to wear this ridiculous dress with antique frills and lace for my freshers' party.
I stood confused, but then her mom suddenly opened the door too.
God, oh dear, I heard you. You're still my little kitty playing peekaboo. Ha, come on, let's try out this dress now.
Ugh, I got mad at both of them. I quickly put on my dress and kicked the door open, but gosh, it broke open and flew off. I ran out. Later, I got to know the girl with the glasses was Fen, my classmate. I bumped into her at the freshers' party again, and she freaked out seeing me.
Oh God, you! I'm sorry. Sorry. Please don't hurt me, the way that you kicked down that door.
And she literally knelt down with tears. Hey, stop! I don't want anyone knowing about that, all right? Can you keep this a secret?
I will. I'll do anything. And I'm sorry for my mom again. She's just... You won't understand. 'Cause your mom's probably not that type.
Let's not talk about that. And hey, looks like you aren't wearing the frills and lace dress. We laughed, talked, danced, and had so much fun. Then she invited me over to her house for dinner. And honestly, I loved her mom. She was so nice and attentive. One day, when we were at the cafeteria, Fen's mom ran inside like crazy, shouting both our names. Fen shrieked and dragged her mom outside. I ran after her, shouting, "Hey, Fen, stop! Don't drive her away or I'm gonna kick you! Now!" They both stopped and stared at me. She's your mom! Not everyone is lucky enough to have one all their life. Please don't shoo away her love. Her mom burst into tears and hugged me. She'd brought lunch for me too, and promised she'd bring it every day. Days passed. I got letters and phone calls from my real parents sometimes, but I totally ignored them and focused on my studies. One day, as I was going to class, I saw Fen on the ground. She was standing with folded hands in front of two boys who were swinging her glasses in the air. What were they doing to her? I ran fast to them and yelled, "Hey you! What do you want from my friend?"
Friend, that's so funny. Mom always says that weirdos stick together.
Oh, we do! Mama's boy! Saying that, I took Fen's hand and started walking away. It got on the boys' nerves. They held my bag and pulled me back. I was fuming already. I just slapped him, breaking at least 2 of his teeth. Fen was so happy. She hugged me tight and took me home that evening, telling her mom about all that had happened.
Oh, Adele, how can I thank you? You know, Fen's been bullied a lot since her school days. There was never a day she came back home without tears. But now she comes home every day and talks happily about you.
That's not a big deal, Auntie. All she needs is some support to stand up. You're making me feel like I'm her big sister.
That's why I brought you here today. Adele, I told my mom about you, and she wanted to give you something you deserve. A family. Would you mind being a part of us forever?
Oh, are you guys saying this for real? I mean, this is a very big decision. You don't have to do this, 'cause I don't want to be a burden. And after all I've been through, I'm far from trusting people, you know? But Fen and her mom were sure of what they were saying. They asked me to take as much time as I wanted to think about it. I thanked them and left for my room. That night, I couldn't help but think about my real family. I still had my mom's number, and I called her. She was so happy to hear from me that she burst into tears. Just stop crying and listen, please. I didn't call you to say I miss you. In fact, I'm so happy here with some good, honest people. I even found a real mom and a sister who truly love me. They're ready to take me in with them forever. I'm gonna say yes. She just said no and cried out loud. I knew she felt really bad. But what they all did to me was beyond forgiveness. I hung up the phone. After the weekend, I was getting ready for class. Just then, a girl informed me that I had some visitors. I went out to see. It was Dad, Mom, and Polly. What are you guys doing here? Mom ran to me and hugged me tight. Dad had teary eyes too. They both apologized once again.
Please consider taking us back, darling. You're our treasure. I regret giving you up every minute.
What are you looking at? Polly, why did I drag you here?
I don't know what to say. I've been a horrible sister. No apology can fix that. But Adele, I feel really bad for everything I did to you. Please forgive me and come back.
She cried. I'd never seen her do that. I went close and hugged her. They all tried to convince me, but I didn't make any promises. My life is good here. I'm going to study more and make my own future. I can forgive you now, but I'm not sure I have the same feelings I had for you before. I'm letting time decide further. I knew I wasn't ready for a family then. I just went back to my college life and friendship. Hi, everyone. My name is Paige, and I'm from Tennessee. Please like and subscribe. My mom was a former beauty queen, and I was born with the same gorgeous looks. Everyone thought I'd follow in her footsteps. I loved being admired and getting attention until I got interested in what my dad did. He was an important politician who worked very closely with the president, and growing up, I wanted to be more like him. But Mom was more keen on teaching me how to put on makeup and walk in heels. I was only 8 when she started taking me for modeling classes. The instructors tried teaching me how to catwalk and pose in front of the camera, but I would deliberately strike the dumbest poses, and they'd all give up.
Why do you do this every time, Paige?
Because I don't want to be a model, Mom. I'd always run away from her and go and seek comfort in Dad. He'd tell me some awesome stories about work, and I'd have the best time. But eventually, Dad started climbing up powerful positions in government and got really busy, and I'd hardly get to see him. One day in 5th grade, I was decorating my house for Easter, when suddenly, I saw that half of my decorations were gone. I looked around and spotted a boy my age running away with all my decorative eggs. Hey, stop right there! I jumped onto him and pinned him to the floor. Who are you and why are you stealing my stuff?
I wasn't stealing, I swear. I'm your neighbor and I was just trying to prank you.
So you're a liar and a thief! That house has been empty for ages.
Yeah, but we just moved in, Dumbo.
But I just pulled his hair harder when his parents came running and saved him. And it turns out they indeed had moved into the house next to mine. And that boy Carson was even gonna go to the same school as me. From the very first day, he was super popular, 'cause he was cute and all the girls were buzzing around him like he was some queen bee. But since I already knew him, I wanted him to be my friend first. If you want, I can save you from all the trouble of making new friends. You can just hang out with me.
And why would I want to do that?
I held him by the collar and pulled him with me. This is my secret hideout at school. and I'm sharing it with you. So now we're friends, and you're not letting any of those girls near you. Got it?
Gosh, you're really bossy. This place is cool, so sure, it's a deal.
After that, Carson and I started hanging out together, and we became really close, and Mom didn't like it. She said it wasn't girly to have a male friend. Whatever. I'd sneak out of the house and play football with Carson. And in no time, we became the bestest of friends. And slowly, I started to fall in love with him. And that bothered Mom continuously. One night, I planned to sneak into his room to play video games. But Mom caught me and started screaming at me non-stop.
Just let her be, honey. Let her do what she likes.
Oh, Dad, you're back. Dad was rarely home. But whenever he'd be back, he'd let me do what I wanted. And I thought he was the perfect parent, unlike Mom, who always tried to boss me around. Then a few days later, I was turning 16, and I decided to tell Carson how I felt about him. But when I reached school, I saw him talking to a new girl. After she walked away, Carson turned to me and gave me the shock of my life.
She's gonna be the mother of my future kids.
You're what?
You heard it, Paige, and you're my brother. You're gonna help me get her, right?
What are you, nuts? How can you even think that?
Ah, shoot. I'm so stupid. I completely forgot you're not that much into girly stuff yourself, so I don't think you'll be that much help to me. I'll just have to win her all on my own.
Saying that he just left me there and I felt crushed. I cried my heart out in our secret spot. But then suddenly I saw a girl passing from a distance and all the boys were going crazy over her. Her name was Lola and she was an ace student. 2 weeks after joining school, she even became the cheerleading captain. I felt jealous and planned to annoy her as much as possible. I kept trying to make her look bad in front of Carson and kept failing. Did you see her today? Who wears full purple to school? She looked like a plum.
I know, right? She looks so cute.
You know, she must change boyfriends every day, given she has so many boys after her. You're just gonna get your heart broken if you chase her.
Ah, come on. You know I'm the most handsome guy at school and she's the only one who'll look good next to me.
When this didn't work, I began pranking her in the classroom so she'd lose her temper, but instead, she behaved so nicely and let it all go in good humor. One time, as she was walking inside the school, I even made a small puppy pee on her Jimmy Choos, but she just picked it up and started playing with it. God, she was an angel. It was really hard to hate her, so I decided to try something else. Pretend to be her friend. Gosh, you're so pretty and nice. I wish I could.
Hey, I'm gonna stop you right there. I'm sorry, but I'm just not into girls. But I have a friend who lives in New York, and she would totally dig you.
What? No, I'm not into girls either. Why would you think that?
'Cause you keep following me around all the time. I don't want to be rude, especially since your mom is amazing.
What? How do you know her?
Well, everyone knows about her. She was a super famous model in her time, but she gave up her career for her family. She sounds like an amazing mom.
Well, I never thought of it that way. But as we continued talking, I realized Lola was a very nice person. We often hung out together, but instead of faking it, I started to become a real friend to her. And Carson thought I was doing it all for him.
You're amazing, Paige. I can't believe you arranged a date for us.
For the last time, I didn't invite you. It's supposed to be just me and Lola. Go away. Even though I'd have so much fun with Lola, I hated Carson trying to hit on her all the time. But he'd invite himself to all the places we'd go. Soon, it was Lola's birthday, and she'd invited both me and Carson to her place. But when I reached there, I was shocked to see my dad. Dad, what are you doing here?
Paige, what? What are you doing here?
Your dad. I didn't know he was your dad.
Turns out Dad and Lola's mom were high school BFFs. And later, Lola told me my dad and her mom hung out together often. And he even helped Lola with her projects and stuff. And that made me feel really weird, given I barely saw Dad at home these days. But Dad brushed off all my doubts on her way home when he told me he was inviting Lola and her mom for a picnic to introduce them to Mom. The next day, everyone joined us on the picnic, including Carson. But the entire time, I could see Mom getting a bit jealous, seeing Dad and Lola's mom talking and laughing at a distance, and so was I. But then suddenly, Mom lost consciousness and fell to the ground. Mom, are you okay? I was devastated as we rushed Mom to the hospital, and the worst thing happened when she woke up.
Who are you?
Mom, what are you saying? It's me. The doctor came in and told us that she had amnesia, and this just broke my heart. The entire way home, Mom looked at us like she was going back home with strangers. We showed her all the family albums, but nothing triggered her memory. Lola kept calling and texting me to ask about Mom, while I took some days off from school, but I didn't reply. It annoyed me that Dad and her mom were suddenly best friends, and somehow I just wanted to avoid her. One day, while Mom sat in the garden alone, I went and joined her. Mom, how are you feeling now?
I'm feeling better, but I'm sorry, I still don't remember much.
You don't have to apologize about anything. And then she asked me tons of questions, and I was happy to relive all those memories with her.
So, do you have a boyfriend?
I kinda have someone I like, but he doesn't see me as girlfriend material.
What? What do you mean? You're my daughter, and there's no way you can go unnoticed by any guy.
She pulled me into her room and gave me a makeover, and this time, I didn't say anything, 'cause I wanted to spend all the time with her and let her love me the way she wanted. The next day, when I reached school, everyone's jaw dropped, and by lunchtime, my phone and locker were full of love messages.
Whoa, you look like a whole new person, Paige. I didn't know you were.
A girl.
No, that's not what I meant.
Cut it, Carson! I'm still the same person on the inside. You know, the one you don't like is anything more than a friend, and never will.
Paige, I like you the most. You've been my favorite person ever since childhood, and I was a fool to chase Lola, but then slowly I realized I was losing you, and I don't want that. I want to be with you.
You're just telling me this because I look pretty now.
No. Trust me, Paige. You're the one I love, even when you're in shorts and sneakers playing football. I wanted to tell you my true feelings earlier, but you were so upset with everything going on with your mom.
Listening to those words, I felt good, but something in my heart felt uneasy. So I walked away, but Carson would stop at nothing to convince me of his feelings. He'd walk back home with me every day and spend time with me and Mom. And slowly, over a couple of months, Mom's memories started to get better. She could recognize both me and Dad, and I was really happy about it. But then one day, something bizarre happened. I got home and saw Mom was crying her eyes out, and Dad and Lola's mom were also there. Mom, what's wrong? And then she told me how she found Dad making out with Lola's mom on our couch. What? Dad?
Okay, yeah, and what's wrong with that? I don't think there's anything to cry about. I love Lily and she loves me. And with your mom being so sick and all, I can't handle the pressure of my work. And the elections are coming up. I want a partner who can support me.
I couldn't believe my ears. This wasn't the same person who I'd thought of as my idol all my life. You're the worst. All this time, when Mom needed you the most, you've been cheating on her. Probably even from before that. Both of you, please get out. The two of them left, and I hugged Mom tight. Later that night, Lola called me, but I didn't pick up. She approached me in school the next day, but I started walking in the other direction.
Wait, please, just a minute.
Can't you take a hint? Lola, I don't want to hear anything you have to say. Go home and enjoy time with my dad and be a perfect family. Just stay away from me. I'd spent most of my time with Mom to comfort her, and we grew closer than ever before. Even if she hadn't always been the perfect parent, she'd always been there. A few weeks later, I came home after doing some grocery shopping when I found Lola kissing Carson in my backyard. What the heck? The apple doesn't fall far from the tree, does it? You're just like your mom.
No, Paige. I was here to warn you about this jerk, but then he just grabbed me.
What?
She's lying.
Lola said she'd rejected Carson the same day Mom fainted at the picnic.
I thought it was weird that Carson asked you out right after asking me, but I didn't say anything. But then he kept texting me and told me he was with you just to make me realize my true feelings for him. But do you know what my true feelings are for you, Carson? You're a jerk, and I hate you.
What a liar. She jumped onto me and tried to kiss me. Trust me, Paige.
But then, Lola took out her phone and showed me all of the chats, and she was right. Carson, you jerk! I can't believe I trusted someone like you and never realized what kind of person you are. Get out of my house! I pushed Carson so hard he fell on his butt and then angrily left.
Paige, I'm sorry. I know what my mom did was wrong, but I had no idea about anything going on between them. Even I hate them both for what they did.
You don't have to be sorry about anything, Lola. I know it wasn't your fault, but I took my anger out on you.
Then please, let's get back to being friends again. I'm moving out of my mom's place for college next year anyway. What our parents did doesn't have to ruin what we have. I don't want to lose a friend like you, Paige.
I don't want to lose you either, Lola.